It's a nightmare that never ends. Another 18-year-old randomly attacked on a night out in King's Cross. Tonight he lies in a critical condition in St Vincent's Hospital.
When these things happen, it's always an absolute tragedy.
Daniel Christie from Thorley was out celebrating the new year with his brother Peter in King's Cross. Around 9 p.m, the siblings saw 25-year-old Sean McNeil allegedly attack two men and a juvenile. The two men ran up and tried to hide behind the brothers. The scared juvenile ran away. It was then that McNeil allegedly told the group he was a mixed martial arts fighter and King hit Daniel Christie.
We will allege that it was a single offender who has struck an 18-year-old man, causing him, as I've said, to fall to the ground and strike his head on the pavement.
He did sustain some serious head injuries and is in a very critical way in intensive care.
Nearby police arrested McNeil in a matter of minutes. It was just metres from where the same thing happened to another 18-year-old, Thomas Kelly, over a year ago.
That is something that we have spoken about, the police ad nauseum, about people taking personal responsibility for their actions and drinking within their limits. But those warnings continue to be disregarded.
It's very difficult to police or indeed legislate against random acts of violence.
And the common denominator here is alcohol. And until we address this issue, we're not going to see those figures decline at all, sadly.
McNeil was charged and appeared in Parramatta Bail Court via video link. It heard McNeil was out drinking with his girlfriend at the Goldfish Bowl and had consumed 8 beers and a glass of wine just before the attack. When McNeil's bail was refused, the 25-year-old, who the court heard had a history of violence and had even served jail time, burst into tears. His version of the story was that the 4 men approached him looking for drugs. He'll reappear in court via video link next week. And Hermione, messages of support from family and friends have been coming through on Daniel Christie's Facebook page, urging him to stay strong and just letting him know that their thoughts and prayers are with him.
OK, thank you so much, Amanda, for the update there. Well, sadly, the violence didn't end there, with some festivities across the city tainted by unruly revellers. Not even emergency services were safe, with an ambulance officer among those attacked. Ali Donaldson has the details.
Just 1 hour into the new year and lives were hanging in the balance. 2 men badly injured after 2 5-metre runabouts collided in Middle Harbour, throwing passengers into the water.
Well, we just heard that another boat got hit and that's where the unconscious person came from. Right. And that one's sinking out in the water.
Brought out of the darkness, they were treated immediately on the dockside before being taken to hospital. It was a very busy night for water police.
One of the incidents, 136 people had to be evacuated from a boat after it was identified by the water police as being in danger of sinking.
As Sydney hosted its biggest New Year's bash ever, police were cracking down early on anyone out to spoil the party for the 1.5 million guests. They made 173 arrests. Most were alcohol-related. Our paramedics too put in a mammoth effort. 460 people, nets, falls and drunkenness taking their toll.
We saw a number of violent clashes alongside our police colleagues and in fact a paramedic was assaulted in the Illawarra in the Wollongong area.
Getting a better look at the midnight fireworks proved almost fatal for this reveller. The 19-year-old fell 15 metres onto cement after climbing onto a rooftop balcony. In the side left the harbour, emergency crews were attempting to cut through. There were 3,000 police on duty across the state and we needed every one of them.
Go home! Yeah. You won't get in, there you go! 10 people come out and no one can go in. They said, okay, give me, I'll tell you.
Enforcing zero tolerance on anyone carrying alcohol or glass. But there were those who had already enjoyed a little too much. 10 people were taken to the Sydney Sobering Up Centre. And while they may not have appreciated it at the time, it was a duty of care that kept them and others The vast majority of revellers were happy to see our police working hard while they played. And when they could, joining in the fun of what is the best party on earth. Ali Donaldson, 10 EyeWitness News.